constructed a very fast hello page. Who am I? Where do I teach? And what my department is, and just to a little bit of what the agenda is. I'm going to work with the start here. I will not be showing you 14 modules, but I will show you how I've constructed modules in the class, how I made groups. I won't talk as much about quizzes because Rebecca already did that, and then just talk a little bit about the ease of editing in Brightspace. I have to say that, when we got the word that we were going to be one of the first, and I'll stop sharing this, that we were one of the first campuses to work on Brightspace, I was a little distressed. I was nervous. I had become very comfortable with Blackboard, and can you see my screen now, everyone? I hope, yeah. I was very comfortable with Blackboard, and so I went into this with a little bit of dread and anticipation. But I also taught in the summer. I taught one full semester in the summer, and I'm now in the fall. And I have to say, I'm still learning, right? It's a learning curve. We're not going to have it at our fingertips immediately. But I have to say, I am very pleasantly surprised at the ease with which I've worked on Blackboard. On Brightspace. I have found it to be from the migration, and I won't talk about how that was, because I think it's different at every campus, but it was very easy to migrate all of my resources, my quiz pools, everything migrated over. And I was going to do my timer, and I just turned it on, so I'm already a minute or so over. But I'm teaching 3 courses. You could see one is Spanish Literature and Translation, and 2 Elementary Spanish 2 classes. And I'm going to focus on this one because I'm going to focus on this one. This is with each course has modules, but I'll focus on this one. So let's get right into it. So as you see, York has a little bit of a different banner up here. And when you go into the course, immediately you can see the announcements. I won't talk about so much the announcements, but they're very easy to create. All you need to do, what I do is, I could do it right now, just click on the announcement. You can see my announcements. And this is very handy because, you have a running a visual record of what you've said to your students. And more importantly, what I like is if you do a new announcement, you have the opportunity to save it as a draft before you send it out. And once you publish it, then it actually goes to your students through an email. So in Blackboard, I remember I had to, it was very clunky. With announcements, I had to save the announcement and upload the announcement. I don't even remember how I did it, but I do remember it was very clunky. But this is very simple. It tells you when it was sent. It's very, very easy. All right, so we'll get back to the content here. And so let's take a quick look at my start here. So I felt it was very important, even though I was teaching hybrid or in-person courses over the years, I always kept a very robust Blackboard page. And so I was somewhat used to this. So the first thing I've always had on a either Blackboard or now Brightspace was my start here. In other words, where should the students start? Like, what should they do first? I always open this up several days, sometimes up to a week before a course starts. And so that students can kind of get their feet on the ground and get a head start. I have no problem with students looking ahead and previewing what the course is going to look like. The more background knowledge they have, the better as we move forward. So I always have a start here. This is my image. This is the Plaza de España in Madrid. And this is, Don Quixote and Sancho Panza. It's a very iconic place in Madrid. And this up here, of course, is Miguel de Cervantes. So I start with a welcome. And this was or is an asynchronous class. Sometimes students think, oh, asynchronous, I don't have to go to class, so it's going to be kind of like a free-for-all. No, 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 no. I set it out right away. There are very specific assignments and deadlines. I'm very strict on this unless there is an extenuating circumstance that they can share with me privately that I will, of course, take into consideration if they do that. I give them a background of what the course will be like, the course schedule, there are weekly deadlines and assignments. I give them some information on study skills, how the course is organized. And then before we even start, there are 3 brief assignments. I want them to upload. Our department requires students to upload an academic integrity form, which basically says, I won't, I'll be honest about everything. An academic integrity, I want them to post an introduction to themselves, which I do, of course, add a photo if they choose to, and then reach out to your group members. Everyone was put randomly were put into groups, and I'll show how that works. Before the class started, they have access to each other. I want them to get to know each other before classes start so that they can hit the ground running with this. Okay, so that is the start here. The next thing, okay, the next thing is the modules. So let me get rid of this. I don't know if I'm sharing that or not. Okay, the next thing are the modules. So when you can see here how this course is organized. I mean, I have a lot of different sidebars for them. And then the help, which was hidden until it was called to my attention. So all of this helps all of us. I upload the syllabus and the weekly schedule separately. I upload the assignments schedulally, but let's take a look at these 14 modules. So you can see, and I'm just going to scroll down here so you can see on the left sidebar, every week has a module, and there are 14 modules because there are 14 weeks to the semester. And every module is identical in its structure. So I'll share just 1 or 2. So let's take a look at the very first module. Basically, this is how each one is set up. You have, a title. You have some themes. I tell them what to do to be prepared for the module, what to read, what to do, what to view, and then all of the materials are here. So there are, and then I always tell them what it is. This is a print article, and what is it about? This is a PDF on why literary translation is important. Here's another print article identifying 10 core values, et cetera, et cetera. When it's a video, I tell them how long the video is, right? 7 minutes, a short film, et cetera, et cetera. Video, 10 minutes. This is a must watch. And I say why. It will shed light, et cetera, another 12-minute. And, because this is asynchronous and we have to account for 3 hours of class time, these videos add up to about the right amount of time. This was a shortened video, and then I also put, this is the full version. And I say that this is, it's optional. You can watch either one. Then they have the group response questions. Here are the questions. Here is the due date. And here is where they load it up. These are not visible to the students because they're my materials. They're not visible. And so all the modules look the same. And we'll just very quickly go to the second one so that you can see it is the same. The title, the module, the themes, to be prepared, the materials, and the videos, and then the group questions. Okay, so what are the group questions? Let's go up to the groups. So to create a group, I have it up here in my banner. I don't know if everyone has this, but it's up here. I clicked on groups, and basically I was able to just create groups. What you do is you go to, I don't want to mess myself up here. But let's see, a new category. No, I don't think so. No, delete, back. I was able to set up groups. Aha, here we go. So if I wanted to add, let's say I got more students in the class and I wanted to put them in a group, I could set up a new group. Let's do that. I will call it group 7, right? I will create it. And now here's the group. You can see there are 0 students. I can click on this group and I can, let's see, I haven't done it in a little bit. Let's see, group 7, how to add, no, that's not it. Yeah, there it is, enroll users. So I would go up here, right? And I would click on, and I'm going to take this down really fast, but here are the students. I don't want any, to violate any privacy, but that's how I would assign members to a group. So this was really easy. I remember with Blackboard, I would struggle with groups. It was very clunky. Now I want to delete this group because it does not exist. I simply delete and it is gone. So that's the groups, very simple. Rebecca spoke at length with the quizzes. I won't go into that, but yes, there is a due date, start date, when it's open. In this course, you can see my quizzes very quickly. You can see that these are the 2 quizzes, like they're all there from the get-go, because so the students can see there are 5 quizzes in this course plus a final exam. It tells you the time it will open, when it's available, when it will close, what it covers. They can click on it, but they cannot access it until the time. And you can see there were 2 already given and the rest are already queued up. And then just again, the ease of editing. For example, if I want to go into, oh, there's my timer. Okay, if I wanted to change anything in here, all I would have to do is click on edit, go into it. I can edit anything I want to do and then just update it here and you're done. It really is, it has been very easy in terms of managing. Now, like I said, we're all on a learning curve. It does take some time. Take a deep breath. And when you have a question, you don't know how to do something, honestly, Google. Just Google Brightspace, how to look at class list, and you'll come up with people from, not just CUNY. There are many universities using Brightspace. I have found Dr. Google very, very helpful. And thank you. I hope everyone has a marvelous experience. Oh, and what I really like too, to look down here, I can see that there are assignments. They're there. I don't have to search for them. I can see here someone submitted something. So I can quickly click on it and access it.